Welcome back. Today, we're counting down the top 10 new PlayStation 5 games you need to play in 2026. A mix of already playable bangers and upcoming releases that are about to blow up. No filler, just the most exciting new titles, release info, and why each game deserves a spot on your radar. Let's jump in. A Whisper of Fall. Jinyiwei looks like one of those PS5 games that pulls you in with pure atmosphere first and then hits you with tension. You step into a world inspired by Imperial China, where shadows feel alive and every quiet hallway can hide a threat. You're tied to the Jinyiwei, an elite force, but this story doesn't look like a clean tale of honor. It feels like secrets, betrayals, and hidden power struggles, the kind where you never fully know who's on your side. The visuals lean into moody courtyards, lantern-lit streets, rain-soaked rooftops, and ancient architecture that makes every scene feel like a painting. And the gameplay vibe is all about precision, stalking targets, reading situations, and striking at the right moment rather than rushing in. Whether it's stealth, blade work, or a mix of both, it gives that silent pressure feeling where one mistake can flip the entire encounter. If you're into stylish historical settings, mysterious storytelling, and action that rewards patience, A Whisper of Fall Jinyiwei might be a sleeper hit worth watching closely on PS5. Styx Blades of Greed is back, and it's pure stealth chaos with a wicked grin. You're not a hero here, you're a slippery goblin assassin, crawling through dark castles, toxic swamps, and guarded fortresses where one mistake means instant death. The best part is how the game lets you play dirty. You can vanish into shadows, cling to ceilings, slip through vents, and set up silent takedowns that feel smooth and brutal. But when stealth isn't enough, you've got tricks. Use clones to distract enemies, create confusion, and split patrols, then strike at the perfect moment. Every level feels like a puzzle, with multiple paths, hidden routes, and loot that tempts you to take risks. And the tone? It's sharp, sarcastic, and unapologetically sneaky. If you love games where patience wins fights, where planning matters, and where you feel smart for staying unseen, Styx Blades of Greed might be one of the most satisfying new PS5 stealth games to watch and play. NORSE Oath of Blood throws you straight into a brutal Viking world where every fight feels personal and every decision has weight. This isn't a shiny heroic saga, it's cold steel, wet mud, burning villages, and the kind of vengeance that sticks to your hands. You play as a warrior bound by an oath, hunting through harsh coastlines, dark forests, and war-torn settlements where danger can come from enemies, nature, or betrayal. Combat looks heavy and grounded, with crunchy melee swings, shield pressure, and moments where timing matters more than flashy combos. The game leans into that raw Norse mood too, grim rituals, clan politics, and the constant feeling that the world is watching what you'll become. Exploration has that survival edge, finding resources, pushing deeper into hostile territory, and uncovering secrets that feel earned, not handed to you. If you want a new PS5 action game that mixes Viking atmosphere with serious, bloody combat and an oath-driven story, NORSE Oath of Blood is one to keep on your radar. The Relic. First Guardian looks like a dark fantasy action RPG that wants you to feel small in a world that's way bigger and way scarier than you. You play as a lone guardian, stepping into cursed ruins, broken kingdoms, and monster-filled zones where every corner screams danger. The combat vibe feels heavy and deliberate, with big swings, tight dodges, and that satisfying commit-to-your-move pressure where timing matters. What really sells it is the atmosphere. Ancient relic powers, eerie enemies, and bosses that look like nightmares carved out of stone and shadow. Exploration also seems reward-driven, pushing you to search for upgrades, hidden paths, and lore that explains what happened to this world. Project Songbird feels like a high-tension sci-fi thriller where you're always one step away from everything falling apart. You wake up in a place that's too quiet, too clean, and way too controlled, and the deeper you go, the more you realize you're not just escaping, you're being tested. The vibe is all about pressure. Flickering lights, locked doors, strange messages, and that constant feeling that something is watching you learn. Gameplay-wise, it looks like a mix of exploration, puzzles, and survival-style decisions, where you're scanning rooms, finding tools, and connecting clues fast before the situation flips. And the story hook is strong. Songbird isn't just a name. It feels like a secret, a signal, maybe even a weapon. If you like games that build suspense with atmosphere, smart level design, and a mystery that pulls you forward, Project Songbird is the kind of PS5 release you'll want to experience with headphones on and the lights off. Theater of Idols looks like the kind of PS5 game that feels gorgeous on the surface and terrifying underneath. You're pulled into a twisted theater world where the stage lights don't mean safety, they mean you're being watched. Everything about it screams performance, masked figures, unsettling costumes, dramatic sets, and idols that feel more like predators than celebrities. The vibe is surreal and tense, like you're walking through a dream that keeps turning into a nightmare. What I love is how it seems to mix style with danger. You're not just exploring pretty rooms, you're reading the environment, listening for cues, figuring out which doors are traps and which paths hide something valuable. Every corridor feels like it could flip into a chase, an ambush, or a boss encounter that forces you to react fast. And the theme is strong. Fame, devotion, obsession. The kind of story where the audience wants a show, even if it costs you everything. If you're into dark, artistic action games with heavy atmosphere and unpredictable moments, Crisol Theater of Idols could be one of the most unique new PS5 experiences to keep on your radar. Cairn is the kind of PS5 game that doesn't need explosions to feel intense, because the mountain is the enemy. This is survival climbing where every single move matters, and the tension comes from your own hands, your own choices, and the sheer height staring back at you. You're not just going up, you're reading the rock, picking a route, managing stamina, and deciding when to risk it and when to back off. And that's what makes it so addictive. One wrong grip, one bad angle, one rushed decision, and you can lose everything in seconds. The atmosphere is quiet but brutal. Wind, cold, narrow ledges, and that feeling of being totally alone with nothing but a rope and your determination. The visuals sell that real adventure vibe too. Huge cliffs, dangerous ridgelines, and moments where you stop just to breathe because the view is almost too much. It's not about grinding levels or collecting loot, it's about proving you can survive the climb. If you want a new PS5 experience that feels fresh, stressful in the best way, and insanely satisfying when you finally reach a safe hold, Cairn is absolutely worth your time. Forza Horizon 6 is built for pure speed, freedom, and that just one more race addiction. You're dropped into a massive open world packed with festivals, wild weather, and roads that beg you to floor it. The best part is the variety: street races, off-road chaos, drift zones, speed traps, and huge events that feel like action movies. And with deep tuning and endless cars to collect, every ride can feel uniquely yours. If you love racing games that feel fast, flashy, and always alive, Forza Horizon 6 is the kind of release that can take over your whole week. Fable is one of those games people have been waiting on for years, and when it finally lands, it's going to be everywhere. This reboot looks like it's bringing back that classic mix of fairy tale charm and dark humor, but with a huge modern upgrade in visuals, world detail, and storytelling. Expect choices that actually matter, weirdly lovable characters, and quests that can flip from magical to chaotic in seconds. If it hits the way fans hope, Fable won't just be a good RPG, it'll be a full-on headline game that sets the tone for the next wave of PS5 adventures. Code Vein 2 is coming in with that anime Souls-like energy, but with bigger stakes and a sharper edge. You're not just swinging a weapon, you're managing power, pressure, and survival in a world that feels broken, beautiful, and dangerous at the same time. Every area looks designed to punish rushing. Tight corridors, ruined city blocks, creepy interiors, and enemies that hit hard and don't give you time to breathe. The combat is all about rhythm. Dodge at the last second, punish openings, then back off before you get trapped. And the blood code system is where the game becomes addictive. You can switch your build and your playstyle without starting over. So one moment you're a fast blade user, next you're throwing heavy attacks, buffs, and blood gifts like a nightmare mage. It makes experimenting feel fun instead of stressful. Companions are still a huge part of the vibe too. They're not just backup, they change the flow of fights, save you from disaster, and make boss battles feel like teamwork instead of pure suffering. Speaking of bosses, Code Vein 2 looks like it's doubling down on big cinematic fights, with designs that are equal parts cool and horrifying. If you loved the first game for its style, builds, and brutal but fair challenge, this sequel looks ready to level everything up and become one of the loudest action RPG releases when it drops on PS5.